What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 35 of my Total Warhammer II modded Mazdamundi campaign. So as we saw last time, in an epic battle, Tehenowen was able to destroy Ikit Claw, and we were able to declare war on Clan Scrying. Okay, well, I guess those were other way around, temporally speaking, but you get what I'm saying. Otherwise, we did get an attack from a desperate Numas force at the Black Pyramid of Nagash, which does not have walls, unfortunately. So this is going to be a pretty interesting battle. By virtue of the fact that we don't have a Lord, they have a Wizard on top of that who's level 18, and they have a few units that are going to be tough to kill. Going to be really interesting. I'm hoping for a real fun fight, but before we launch, unfortunately, this is a 5th episode in the series, and once again, I have to remind you guys to drop those likes and comments if you've been enjoying this particular Let's Play and Total Warhammer content in general, as that does determine how often stuff is posted, yada yada yada. You know the drill by now. Let's get to it. Cinematic battle time, go. Alrighty, here we go. I am very excited for this battle. As I've mentioned before, I do love the battles with the basic units. Now, both armies are primarily basic stuff with some elite stuff. We have 1 unit of Temple Guard, they have 3 units of Tomb Guard, although I do gotta point out that they 77 melee defense. Yeah, they're all maximum veterancy. Those Tomb Guard are gonna be so hard to bring down, especially once the Realm of Souls activates. Also, ooh, wait. So this is the Black Pyramid of Nagash map. I don't remember looking at it thoroughly last time. Because it's a really cool looking map. Damn, I should have looked at it more thoroughly. I just want to see what's going on over here. We got some kind of bone thing, probably from some kind of giant snake or something in the desert, or maybe a whale or something from when this was all perhaps underwater. We got another temple slash pyramid back here. Pretty damn cool. Ooh, and we got more stuff going on over here. This is like a valley with like a lot of entrances and a lot of these Tomb King statues nearby. Alrighty, awesome map. I'm getting distracted. So the battle itself, let's see how we've set up. Now, we do got the pseudo wall here, which we are definitely going to make a good use of. Over on the flank, we have deployed both our units of Skink Skirmishers, who we are going to use to annoy any enemy cab or any enemy flanks that remain exposed. On top of that, we are protecting these guys with both our units of Cold One Spear Riders and our Feral Stegodon. All our 3 quick, or relatively quick in the case of the Feral Steg, anti-large units. It looks like the Nehekaran Horsemen want to commit to killing the Skink Skirmishers, and we are going to charge our Cold One Spear Riders through them and take these guys out. Definitely don't want them rear charging us and attacking us. On top of that, we have deployed our main force, which is the Temple Guard here, together with the Feral Basti. The Lord behind hidden, because we don't want the Lord to get killed, and then we will move the Saurus line forward, depending on how the enemy army is attacking, or is going to attack, rather. Now, obviously, right off the bat, the enemy, for some reason, decides to commit its cav, which we're obviously going to take advantage of. It is very useful that they're not going to charge while having their cav run around, so we can quickly quickly kill the Nehekaran Horsemen here. Unfortunately, it looks like the Cold One Spear Riders are actually in the way of the Feral Steg there, who's having a bit of a difficult time approaching and smacking these guys around. I'm thinking at this point I was just, repeatedly ordering him to run through, but it was kind of difficult. We still, however, have our Skink Skirmishers out here, and I'm really liking this. Just because I generally don't use Skink Skirmishers, it's a nice change of pace, because, generally they're just so inferior to Chameleon Skinks, and you don't really use them past the super early game. And I've never really bothered with using regular Skink Skirmishers over even the Skink cohorts. Like these guys are the ones with javelins specifically. I just feel like they're inferior. But hey, in this particular case, they're doing something good, which is annoying these guys and then allowing them to capture them, because we did surround them and are going to continue attacking them with all of our cold ones and our steg. it's always nice to deplete the enemy army of any of the mobile units that it has. All right, Steg throwing around some of our own skinks, but that's okay. Now over here we do have the enemy cavalry, the skeleton horse archers moving in and trying to get a few shots on our temple guards, but fortunately the temple guard should be able to defend against that. I just also want to point out 73 armor, 45 attack, 50 melee defense versus the Tomb Guard, 86 armor, 43 melee attack, 77 defense. And these are with halberds. I think they have one Tomb Guard with swords, unless I'm mistaken, although I could be. Ah, there we go. Tomb Guard with swords, 49 attack, 72 melee defense, and 86 armor with shield, with silver shield, as opposed to the bronze shield. I hadn't realized that the Temple Guard only have a bronze shield. It's a little bit disappointing. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to point out that their Tomb Guard are stronger than our Temple Guard, fairly considerably at that level of veterancy. Well, plus the presumably the red line buffs that they've got from the enemy caster. We do have to try to focus the caster, which is why we are going to take our cav as well as our steg as soon as they're done dealing with these Nehekaran horsemen, and send them out here to try to catch the enemy archers as well as catch the enemy lord. Nehekaran horsemen have fallen. We are now just going to have our skirmishers annoy the enemy ranged cav, because obviously we can't charge them with our cold ones because they're too slow. Cold ones will never be able to catch a unit like this. They wouldn't have even been able to catch the Nehekaran horsemen if the enemy had played this properly. But at the very least, we can poison and annoy skeleton archers. They're down to 69 units, nearly, I want to say 60% HP. Pretty good. Pretty good, and they haven't achieved much either. Doing a little bit of damage to our Temple Guard, but otherwise, we're fine. Unfortunately, it looks like despite these guys still being alive, the enemy army has decided to move, and we are going to move our own army to sort of counter that. Position ourselves ideally in such a way where all of our Saurus hold the line, and then we can use our Skink javelins to sort of attack the enemy in the flanks and stuff like that. You can see that just by virtue of the fact that this is an army where we get basic troops, and the fact that it's not like a given victory, that I'm taking this a little bit more seriously, and the fact that we're moving troops around more carefully and bothering with the positioning, not having everything in one big blob, etc., etc. And once again, this is just because we could absolutely lose this. There's a few units on the enemy field, like the Hyro Titan, which are going to be incredibly difficult to bring down. It's a scary damn unit. Speaking of scary damn units, going to launch a Shem's Burning Gaze at our Cold One Spear Riders. Let's see how this does. Looks like this one's going to collide with the ground. No, it still sails over the ground. Ooh, some nice hits in there. It's a very pretty ability. Oh, lovely. All right, let's see how much damage that. It actually didn't do too much damage, though. These guys got about maybe 15% HP off of them for that. It's okay. It's okay. I think he has 3 casts of that, though, so they will continue in that light. Now, over here, our Skink Skirmishers still doing their jobs. Now that those cavalry guys are in the center of their force, we obviously can't chase them, but we can certainly annoy any of these much slower skeletons. The skeletons, just like we wouldn't be able to catch up to their cav, would not be able to catch up to the Skink Skirmishers, and they can keep annoying them as long as they please. Now, the Temple Guard are starting to take a little bit of damage here. They are now being focused by 2 units of skeleton archers, as well as the unit of skeleton horsemen, so that is certainly dangerous. Some skeletons are moving in, and we are going to countercharge them with our Croxagors, who will use the Saurus meat shield to protect themselves while they dish out their AoE damage. Here we go, Croxies, you're absolutely critical to this. Fortunately, you should be able to clean house on enemy skeletons fairly easily, especially if you send them flying like that. We also drop a Holy Stella down to decrease their melee defense and their armor-piercing damage. Don't really care about the accuracy because it's not really helpful, but at least we can debuff them. Maybe make these really, really hard to kill Tomb Guard a little bit easier to kill. Over here, we're obviously going to move our, as I was saying, Skink cohorts in to flank the enemy, or ideally to hit them in the back with those javelins where they can't use those silver shields to block our hits. Temple Guard continuing to take damage, but fortunately we are now also running around with all of our cav to try to capture the enemy range units and try to get that caster. Saw him cast something, don't know what it is, and I don't appreciate it. Oh, it looks like he casts Joff's Incantation of Cursed Blades on this unit of Skeleton Spearmen, trying to catch the Feral Steg. Fortunately for us, that did not work out. Over here, Skink Skirmishers Skirmishers still doing a good job. I mean, only a single Skeleton Warrior unit being caught by this, but it's still a unit essentially off the field for a unit of Skink Skirmishers, which I can definitely appreciate. We can also obviously see our Cold One Sphere Riders moving around. They're going to try to catch these guys while the Feral Stag essentially bulls through all those units and tries to go after that Lord. All right, let's continue with the battle here and the setup. Here we go, Feral Stag is moving in while we continue fighting. Kroxigor is continuing to do damage, although obviously they're not really hurting the Tomb Guard very much. But the enemy Lord is now about to get charged by our own Stag here, who is anti-large, which doesn't really apply to this Lord because he is a Lich Priest, but not on as a Skeletal Steed. However, he's going to take a lot of damage. He has very low 35 melee defense, and we should be able to kill him fairly quickly, especially as he is now... Oh, didn't mean to speed that up, my bad. Especially as he is now surrounded by our Cav, although this was sort of a happy accident, as I did send the Cav to attack the Skeleton Archers. Now, we did immediately get caught by the Skeleton Spears and this Tomb Guard unit, unfortunately, with swords. So these guys, our Cav, will start taking a lot of damage very quickly. The enemy is also getting its first use of its Realm of Souls up, so it's going to start regenerating a lot of the damage we dealt here. I think the key here is going to be to deal as much damage to individual units as possible to force them to crumble and get off the field, as opposed to spreading out our damage to many units as they will just heal. That's generally the way you want to do it against the specific, well, against the undead. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't really work against some factions, but certainly works. Well, I mean, it really depends. It's just better against the undead to target individual units after the Lord, of course, which we are doing right here, who is already crumbling. Oh, there we go. Sometimes it's better to spread some damage around just to force an entire enemy host to run away. Obviously not as effective as the against the Tomb Kings, because they will just all heal up via repeated Realm of Souls use. Looks like the enemy Lord is just about out of the picture. Very well done to the Steg. Our Cav is getting out. One of our Cav units got very, very badly mauled here, down to about, I don't know, maybe 25% HP, maybe 30 or so. Probably getting... yeah, they got damaged by this Tomb Guard, I'm sure. And a little bit from the 2 units of Skeleton Spearmen. So we got higher damage from these guys and a lot of anti-large from 2 units of Skeleton Spears. Not surprising that these guys got beat up, and they are indeed wavering. I tried to use a cold-blooded on them, just to give them a little bit of leadership to hopefully not allow them to rout. I think we have to be very careful here in order to not sort of chain rout ourselves, because we have to remember we don't really have a Lord. It's just the sort of Scarvet that was in here, and down goes the enemy Lord. Well done to the Steg, and you can now get out. On the bright side, it looks like since the Hyro Titan was running around trying to catch our Steg and our Cav, it is way back here, and it is one of the slowest units in the game. Every single step is just so slow and ponderous, but it's also so freaking cool. I love this model. Definitely top 3 models in the game, possibly top 1. It's, I mean, kind of hard to compete with the Necrofex Colossus as well, but they're both pretty up there. Alrighty, Kroxigor is still doing good, and some of the enemy units are starting to get to lower leadership, especially when combined with the Holy Stella, but we can still see that the Tomb Guard are holding quite strong. They even decided to get a charge in with their Skeleton Spearmen, I guess, to add some morale shock. Well, we can do that ourselves. We're going to send in our Skink cohort with javelins, the first Skink cohort that actually ran out of ammunition, to once again shock the morality of these guys. Gotta try to get those Tomb Guard killed somehow or off the field. Speaking of getting enemies off the field, our Skink Skirmishers over here ran out of ammunition and were able to finish off this unit of Skeleton Warriors that was around them the entire time. Countering the Skink Skirmishers, the Ushabti come in. Now this was a terrible use of Ushabti by the AI. Sure, they instantly kill this unit of Skink Skirmisher. That's true. Those guys are no longer able to apply poison to their main host and all of that, but if they had spawned that unit of Ushabti right here and directly charged into the back of this line, they could have caused a lot of morale shock and possibly surrounded and killed either the Temple Guard or our lord or something like that, and they would have been able to pincer us here as opposed to just focusing down on that one unit. I suppose it makes it so that this unit is providing us even more value by virtue of having the Ushabti waste their time chasing them. Now, this was, to be fair, somewhat predictable, as the AI does spawn their Ushabti in relatively predictable locations each time, but nonetheless. Alright, they still have one unit of skeleton archers on the field as well, which we are going to kill with our Cold One Spear Riders. I know I've been watching the Cold One Spear Riders a little bit more than any of the others, but that's because we don't really have Cold Ones in most of our armies. In fact, we don't have them anymore at all. We used to have them in Mazdamundi's army briefly, but then we took them out. Alrighty, and these skeleton archers are still alive, or these skeleton horse archers are still alive. Getting hit by some more javelins. Not a lot of them going down, though. But I'm sure they'll die eventually, especially when this third level Realm of Souls goes away. Man, yeah, this battle is certainly lasting a long time. I'm really enjoying this very much. It's about getting near to 8 minutes now, and it's definitely down to the wire. We see a lot of units are getting hurt here, and now that the full HP Hyro Titan has moved in, we are starting to take a lot more damage on all of our swords. Yes, the enemy army is hurt, but it could still turn badly if too many of our units are out. We have to remember that a lot of our army is composed of relatively weak units, like the 2 units of Skink Skirmishers and 3 units of these are Skink cohorts, yes. So those guys will rout very, very quickly. Just like these Cold One Spear Riders unfortunately routed because they took so much damage. Gotta watch out. Alrighty, let's keep going. I guess we could watch the Hyro Titan Tower over our units. I did want to try to surround it with the Kroxigors, and did order them to do it, but they didn't really have a great time. You see 2 Kroxigors brought down here, and they're much better off hiding behind our meat shield, and this is at least partially because they're basic Kroxigors, i.e. They're not really buffed up. Nakai's Kroxigors are a whole different story, obviously. And there we go, our unit of Cold One Spear Riders, the one that has more HP, is now charging in, and they're focusing on the enemy Tomb Guard here. We got to get them off the damn field. There we go, this Tomb Guard unit. I'm trying to kill the units on the flanks here as soon as possible, or as quickly as possible. Surround them, kill them, force the enemy army to suffer losses, and then to crumble faster. Same thing's going on here. Our cohorts mostly ran out of ammunition, just having them fight these skeleton warriors in melee. 2 versus 1 will favor us. 1 versus 1 they would have won by virtue of their veterancy, I think, but like this, we're pretty good, especially with their caster dead. Gonna get another charge in with our Skink Skirmishers, but the enemy follow up with a charge of Ushabti, focusing our Feral Stag, which is a pretty good idea. You want to kill those, you want to definitely kill those dinosaurs, and it does cause the Feral Stag to run out. Well, I ordered it to run out so that the Ushabti don't kill him. I think this is our last use of the Holy Stella as well, so we do want to rely on it and do as much damage as possible. The enemy army is now starting to crumble, but the Hyro Titan is still holding strong. Unfortunately, it looks like a couple of our units are also getting ready to rout themselves. Those Cold One Spear Riders still not happy with their day. The Skink Skirmisher units wavering and about to rout. And we have our first unit of Source Warriors routing and our first unit of Kroxigors routing. We also have another unit of Source Spears wavering. Our Lord's down at half HP, having gotten hit by Shem's Burning Gaze, and I presume the Death Leech or Life Leech, whatever. So yeah, now it's getting closer. Yes, their army is crumbling, but our army is starting to feel the power of the rout, or fear, or whatever, and certainly the enemy Hyro Titan is contributing to that. I'm very impressed with how long this army is holding together. We're at 10 minutes now, considering their Lord's been dead the entire time. This would have gone very, very poorly if they had protected their Lord better from our Steg. Yeah, and the Hyro Titan gets a few hits into that Skink cohort, and the Skink cohort just runs. I mean, it makes sense. Not surprising at all. Alrighty, some of our units are routing. Our Kroxigor is fortunately coming back, and our Steg now routs as well. Our Lord is now routing, which is the very biggest danger. This is as close as this battle comes to being lost, because as soon as your Lord routs, everybody starts panicking, and this is where you're in very much in danger of getting a chain rout. We only have a few units that are still fighting, that are not wavering or are not otherwise running away, and the Hyro Titan Titan still standing strong with basically max leadership and max HP. And we still have this one unit of Skeleton Warriors that's full HP, and this Tomb Guard unit with swords that's at half, and that's still going to be hard to bring down. Really, really close battle. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Alright, here we go. Our Kroxigors are coming back. Let's hope that they can make the reasonably quick work of that Tomb Guard. We gotta charge these guys in the back with the rallying forces as well. Alright, come on, rallying forces. It's all you. You gotta get these skeletons to crumble. We can see that they don't have the full crumbling effect on them. They just have the basic, I think, crumbling. Oh, these guys are crumbling. These guys are stable. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that's the Tomb Guard for you. All right, Kroxigors being forced to move in. I did order them to sort of move deeper into their formation at the same time as charging the rest of these forces to obviously disrupt their formation and sort of knock them into as much of this as possible. So hopefully that'll kill them off. There we go. These skeleton forces are routing. The Tomb Guard are disintegrating. There it is. We managed to cripple them and force them to disintegrate. Now it's just a matter of not routing our own forces. This is why I'm keeping our Lord back. He did come back after routing, and I don't want him to take any more hits. He's just going to stand here, apply his leadership aura to the rest of his army, and not take any chances with regards to routing, because I feel like if he had gotten hit by that Hyro Titan again, for example, and routed, it would have been the end of the battle for us. Ooh, really close. Really close. And yeah, we did still have a lot of HP reserves to draw upon, but, you know, so did the Hyro Titan. I mean, it's been crumbling for a while now, and it's still got 14,000 HP. A very nice Hyro Titan. And now you will notice that rather than fighting the Hyro Titan, we're actually moving away. Two reasons for this. One, to kill off the rest of these Skeleton Warriors, but two, don't even bother fighting this thing. It's very, very dangerous to do so. I'm just going to speed it up. We're just going to run away and watch it crumble. It cannot follow us because it's far too slow. You definitely want to be careful about with giant units like this that cause AoE damage and cause terror with an army that's very close to dead. It can definitely turn the tide. I want to see its death animation though. Slowly. Well, it actually looks fast when it's sped up to the max, but really very slowly trying to follow our army. Every time I see a Hyro Titan, I just want to frantically take screenshots. Hey, buddy, no, camera. Alrighty, I think you are just about out of the picture now. 3,000 HP remaining. Let's take that down a little bit more. 2,800. Dropping a little bit faster, sped up now, and we're still just staying away. Why not just let it crumble, right? I'm not taking any chances with a Black Pyramid. I really wouldn't want to rebuild the freaking building here, because I think it takes 20 turns, and that's pretty insane. It's 20, not 40, I think. And there we go, dropping your scales first, and we don't quite see the full animation. It almost looks like he's posing like this, if only the eyes were no longer glowing, though. As in, they're not glowing anymore, and thus you can tell that it is dead. Alrighty, let's see how our army did, although I am very happy with how this turned out, and the fact that it was a pretty damn fun battle. Ooh, I will admit that was certainly a close victory. Came down to the wire at one point where almost the entire army was ready to rout. The Lord routed, a bunch of units routed at the same time, but fortunately they came back. Very, very close. I think the Hyro Titan could have definitely caused this to rout by terrifying a bunch of our units away and at the same time shocking morale of a bunch of our other units. Fortunately, at the end of the day, between our skinks, which did a really good job. I mean, in terms of damage, they actually out-damaged most of the Saurus units who were there holding the line, I'll grant, but they didn't get as much damage via javelins and stuff. Also got a very good amount of damage out of both of our Skink Skirmishers. I've never actually gotten too much mileage out of Skink Skirmishers before, but in this particular case, they certainly showed what they're worth in early game armies versus early game armies. And this is all considering also that this is a garrison stack with 0 veteran veterancy, and the entire enemy army was pretty much max veterancy. Obviously, the funniest bit there was that whole you can't sit with us situation with the Hyro Titan, just getting away from it. I didn't want to risk the entire army routing, attacking it. I've had that happen before a couple of times against giant units that refuse to die, and the Hyro Titan is just so hard to kill. Fortunately, once you kill the entire enemy army and it's suffering from losses, the Hyro Titan is also gonna crumble apart. So, very happy with that. Now, I think we can't exterminate because I don't think it gives us anything, because this army doesn't actually exist, right? I'm actually curious. I'm 99% sure it doesn't, but let's find out. Ooh, hostile hero activity failure. Death, you want a non-aggression pact? Oh, yes, Death, sure. Go for it. I will ally with all the Wood Elves out here, and maybe we can even trade with some of them. At some point. Not like we want their filthy Wood Elf territory. Yeah, so what I'm curious about, other than the wound failure, and assault unit success, wow, that does not look like a very successful assault of units, but sure. What's our tech at? It's 834 now. Oh, 800 was not enough to get this to below 2. I was really hoping for the 1 point there. Oh well. Lord recruitment costs and casualty replenishment rate for Slann, and it's all kind of meh. Hoping for some better stuff. Yeah, we'll just keep gaining old one's favor. Maximum amount is 50. Oh, we'll have to use it before we max it out. But first, let's get the sequence of scrying and then get that. And I think maybe we'll skip this for some more upgrades of things, like upkeep and probably a few more things. Casualty replenishment rate for Saurus and stuff is decent. Ooh, upkeep for Temple. Oh, this one's important. Yeah, maybe we'll go through this entire one. Plus, we do have to remember that these final upgrades also do generate points, and I think that'll be more worth it than this will. Especially because this doesn't, I mean, construction time is honestly really not a big deal to me. And all of this stuff, yeah, it reduces the construction cost of a few buildings, but most of the buildings that are reduced here don't cost a lot in the first place, or we're not building a lot of them in the first place. I would probably like the construction cost reduction for the Cult of Sotek and Old Ones building, but otherwise, alrighty, let's continue this so that we can complete that. Hero action success chance, I guess, will be helpful. Otherwise, we got a lot of stuff to do. And not a lot of time to do it, considering how long that battle was. And man, those battles with the early game armies, always really, really fun. So, what we want... Where are our tech thieves? Oh, tech thieves. Kalaw. You go out here. Grendel, I think you're at... Now you're at 3 now. Keep stealing tech from Dargoth. Other factions will continue liking us more for annoying the annoying Nagaron. Hero actions minus 102. Pretty damn nice. Alrighty, what else do we have here? Mazdamundi, can you get to where you were going? You can get to Agrul Migdal, and then we can sack it. I don't want the territory. They can keep it to themselves. We can also have Mazdamundi personally take out Numos, but I think we'll maybe... There's some nice stuff in there. Oh no, that's the question. So what I was thinking was we attack it with these guys instead, but Mazdamundi could go in here and he'd get some nice fights out of the Honor Guard. Because there's a bunch of Ushabti here, there's a Hyro Titan, a Necrosphinx, a bunch of Tomb Guard. The Honor Guard could really clean up. The other armies are all kind of trash, though. Wait, can Mazdamundi reach the other armies? I don't want it to be a settlement battle. Oh, yeah, you can. You can force them to fight outside. Oh, that might be really fun. You know what? I think I will save that for next episode, just by virtue of the fact that I think it'll be very enjoyable. And then I guess these guys can go in and wreck Agrul Migdal instead while Mazdamundi does that. I haven't completely decided, but I'm 99% sure that's what I'm going to go with. We can also start building ogres next turn, but in the meantime, let's do some admin stuff to Henowin. Let's see if there's anybody at Bilbali. No, it's free. Yeah, fine. Colonize it, stay here for another turn or so, and Bilbali, let's start upgrading and getting you some ports and stuff. We can have Nakai. Would it be faster to go like this? Or like this? I can't actually tell. Really can't tell. You know, just land where you are, I don't even really care. Actually, it does look like this might be faster. Yeah, go. I was gonna hit Tobaro. Is this still a good idea? It really depends on who's in here. You know what? We have a lot of movements, so we can go in there, and if there's like 800 Skaven armies here, then maybe we nonetheless... decisive victory. Let's siege it. And Scry revealed. Wait. Yeah, so they're in Miragliano as well. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. I think you can auto-resolve that. It'll be a decisive victory with low casualties. They might attack us in reprisal, but hopefully it doesn't go too bad for us. Ooh, let us give Banner of Swiftness to Gorak, who I believe has strong... No, he has Perfect Vigor already. Oh. Well then, he doesn't need that. You want the Lichbone Pennant then, I guess. Yeah, I might as well get some... Ooh, or War Banner. Nah, War Banner is better on an Oracle, because it's a double benefit. Yeah, put the War Banner on an Oracle, put the Perfect Vigor on, I think, let's put it on the guy with the Carnosaur, so that's a you, Zyri. You can have that, we'll give the Lichbone Pennant to you, and then we'll get a Standard of Discipline to the Ark of Sotek, I guess, so it doesn't rout? Or do we give it to one of these guys? Or the Oracle. Now, but the Oracle's probably not going to rout, because he's probably not fighting in melee. But we also we really don't want the Oracle to rout. What is leadership at? Yeah, whatever. It honestly doesn't really matter that much. Auto resolve. Yeah, basically no damage. Alrighty, so that's just fine. You're gonna sit here. Oh, and we got a Rampager standard out of it as well, and completed the province of Astalia. Too bad you didn't get walls, but let's immediately upgrade that ziggurat, and I guess we can tax it for even more cash. And then, you know what? Let's switch to an alignment of war. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was hearing some noises and I was like, what the hell's going on here? Kind of hard to tell with headphones on. Anyway, Mazdamundi, you're going to start off next episode with some nice fighting over there. Probably not going to be as nice as the smaller battle with the Black Pyramid, but that was mostly because it was a down-to-the-wire thing, and I don't expect Mazdamundis to be down to the wire, even with all this stuff. I'll think about supporting him with some Fire Slam. It might not be necessary. Otherwise, let's see. Tepti. Well, you can recruit stuff, but I'd rather continue building stuff for a few turns yet. So let's make sure, yeah, we need this Soros Garrison here. Garrison these up. We're not garrisoning these guys, but hopefully that'll be okay. We also probably want to send somebody around here. Maybe that'll be the Razor Dawn army. Something for them to do. I know that there was still a few territories. Aha, wait, Springs of Eternal Life. Are we going to keep you? We're going to keep you, I guess. You probably won't actually need these walls anymore, because I don't think there's any other... You know what? Let's keep them until Numas is dead, and then we'll deal with it. Who else is untacked? Ooh, Sacred Pools. You can go to next level. I wish you didn't cost that much, but whatever. Is there anything else that'll increase your growth? This will increase your public order, so we could tax you and get, like, nothing. You know what? Stay as you are. I think what we'll do is we'll build some military buildings here, because it's never going to make us a lot of money. And if it does upgrade to the next levels, that'll be a decent... Oh, speaking of upgrading to the next levels, I almost forgot. We're about to lose Lost Cargo, but more importantly, we need to get our economy growing again. So buildings, I think, and not Forge Golden Idols. Oh, damn it, it's not these ones. Oh, no, I forgot which one it is. It might be in units. Economy, units. No. Agitate the spawning pools, enact the Great Plan. I think... Wait, we already have the enact the Great Plan up, right? I think we already put it up. Raise the banners, ancient treasures, lost cargo. Yeah, enact the Great Plan. Down in 8 turns, though. And... Wait, I don't see... Sanctify... Oh, consecrate the unborn. No, it's not that. Oh, man. Why? Is it campaign? Time or replenishment? Time. Find common purpose. Nah, free research rate, but not what I wanted. Construction time -75 for all buildings, and I'll have some free public order, but not worth the expense. A 75, there are way better upgrades than that. Okay, it's not that. Why? I really should just have written it down on like a post-it note like I usually do. It's not action, so let's... Wait, I already checked units, didn't I? You know what? I'll do this between the episodes. This is now annoying me. You know what? Mark spawnings. There we go. Let's keep marked spawnings up as well. That gives us a significant buff, and I will find the growth thing between the episodes. Anyway, let's just quickly upgrade a few more things. Plan of Tuskers, you can get a port and upgrade your money making, and I believe that's all the money that we have here today. I'm not going to end the turn. I guess I am going to call this episode here, regardless of whether it's a little bit early. I can't even tell anymore because I don't know how long it'll take to comment over that battle, but otherwise, next time we'll have some more epic fights against Numos, and then we'll start trying to move through the Messenger of the Gods to get those Blessed Horn ones in at least one army, because I really want them. And then otherwise, we will, I think, be done with Numos next turn, and then we'll move this way. I might kill these dwarfs, I don't know. I really don't like that these guys own Carrick-Zorn. I wish these two were fighting so that they'd lose Carrick-Zorn. We could take that gold mine. But what I don't like is that these dwarfs really don't like us. I basically don't like them just for not liking us. I don't really care whether they've killed Clan Moors or not. And it looks like they haven't. There's a lot of ruins out here, which I'm assuming is full of Clan Moors. Can't see if Krokgar's alive. Are you out there, buddy? Are you out there? We will find you. Alrighty, so as I said, calling it here. Next time, more Tomb King death and probably some Skaven death as well. So with that said, as always, blah, 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 blah. I already said the stuff at the start. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.